Welcome to another episode of Dirty Mo Dough. It's a steamy week in North Carolina, and it was a damp week in New Hampshire. Everybody's at the home front today. I'm in the home studio here. We got the professor in the home studio. We got Tampa Timms in the South Charlotte location with the artwork.
Picasso.
We got Picasso behind them, and we got producer Trav working from home as well. I mean, they get Dirty Mo Studios done, and nobody goes in. This is a pretty good gig, guys.
What do you mean? It's 6 o'clock. I'm not sticking around.
It was 100 degrees in that office, too.
I don't think we caught Trav on his first beer.
Oh, no, this is third vodka.
I was going to say, I can tell by the volume this is not Trav's first drink. 6 p.m. podcasts are better. Where do we start? I had no golf action last week. I was exhausted from the U.S. Open, so I didn't bet anything on the Travelers. But how about the crap with the people that ran out on the 18th green? Like, I mean, come on. What are we doing?
That's really going to get me to support them.
So wait a second. If you want to protest the environment, you're going to tear up grass to do it? That seems counterproductive.
Yeah. And they all wore the proper attire to get in. So it's like they just were uniform to the crowd. It was like crazy. At least wear something different.
I had no Travelers money. But how about the race? Big weekend for NASCAR. The old wet weather Goodyears came out.
Good for some people. Not for, I'm trying to find it. We had one guy, he struggled with the, he thought they were going to end the race with the rain. Yeah, Blake Parsons here. Oh, no, he was happy. I'm trying to find the guy.
Oh, don't look too hard. His name's Chopper.
No, Andrew.
Talked to him. He was sitting on an 8-3 red flag and ended up with a 2-9 checkered flag. He was very unhappy with the rain.
Yeah, Andrew Stockard. All the bets I would have won if we didn't go back green.
And now listen, if we started tweeting out all the bets I would have won, my timeline would be like, Twitter would have to shut me down.
We wouldn't be doing this show right now.
Mm-mm.
How'd you end up, Tampa?
Really good. The rain helped me. I had Bell pre-race, and then I bet him live again. So doubled down on him. And then I had the Toyotas, the over 3.5 Toyotas, was not going to cash before the rain. Somehow John Hunter Nemechek was running 8th, and it cashed. So
I think we had a pretty good prediction last week. Like, we were pretty much on fire.
Yeah. Last 2 weeks, I'm up 11.5 units because of you guys. So we're rolling.
Russ, how was the model last week?
Well, I'm kind of like Chopper. Before the rain, we were great. After the rain, we were terrible.
Well, it did bring some new players. Stewart Haas Racing. Justin Haley continues his domination.
Didn't finish well, but he's still running well.
So, well, that brings us to Nashville. Another it's a hard track. 1.3 mile concrete oval. It's kind of not like anywhere. So poor professor's mad at me because we've run the predictor model twice this time. Let's go with the standard model built off from what I consider like-style racetracks, Dover and Bristol.
So we have Hamlin, Bell, Larson, and Elliott in Tier 1.
All right, just now leave it there for a minute. Leave it there. Hamlin, Bell, Larson, Elliott. Then I was doing a little research, looking at tire combinations, and it's the same tire we run at Vegas, Kansas, Texas. So I was like, well, why they don't look the same? Maybe it's a tire thing. So I said, Professor, you're not doing anything today, which was a lie. And I said, run that model one more time. So give me Tier 1 on the new model.
Tier 1 on the new model brings Larson, Hamlin, Elliott, Chastain, Bell.
So Hamlin, Bell, Larson, Elliott are consistent. Chastain dives in the Tier 1 with the new tire. That makes sense, Tampa? So 2 ways I want to figure it is Hamlin, Bell, Larson, Elliott. Chastain dances his way in. So let's just stay right there for a minute. Tier 1. Oh, look. Larson, Hamlin, Bell, Chastain, Elliott. Way to go, Professor. What's the email you send that to? Screw over all the NASCARbetters.com. Like, where in Vegas do you send it just to squeeze us all?
I'm not telling you.
Yeah, do you text it to FanDuel first and then text it to us? Like,
I mean, damn. We got to start recording on Monday? What's the deal?
We can start recording on Monday.
We might as well. You know the odds.
I got everything.
He sets the odds.
You're setting them, yeah.
So let's just talk odds then, because everyone agrees that that's who's going to run well. I guess the question is Tampa. Larson at 500, Hamlin 550, Bell at 7, Chastain 750, Elliott at 850. Anything jump off the page?
Not really. I think any one of those 6-7 guys could win it, and I don't know how you pick between them. I do like Chase Elliott just because I think he's going to win one of these. He's just too good. He's good at Dover. He's won here before. But I mean, I hate plus 850 for him when we've been getting anywhere from 12 to 18 the last few weeks. He's probably the only guy I would look at to bet in this group pre-race, just because I do think it'll go down to 5-4 if he runs well. But again, you could wait and he could qualify bad and it could get to 12, 16. So I don't know. It's a tough week for the favorites this week.
I have to agree because I think I agree with the predictor. You're going to have to cut that from the pod to say that I agree with the predictor, but I agree with both predictors, actually. I think the professor has it nailed. I think that's the winning group right there.
Mm-hmm.
I would lob William Byron in. I don't think he's a long shot. I know he's a little behind. He's like leading tier 2. And, of course, Vegas has him as the next favorite. All right, so, Professor, let's find some realistic value or longer winning bets. Professor, or Trav, you shaking your head because you're just in awe at all this or what?
No, it's just I don't know where the value is going to be at because I looked at the model and I looked at Vegas and it's
okay.
But,
we all
but
agree.
But
I just
go
want to make
ahead.
sure you weren't shaking your head at me.
No.
Heat stroke.
I usually do, but no. But go ahead, Professor. Let's hear the rest.
Yeah.
of this.
So let's see. Let's start going through this. Tier 2. Let me hear some tier 2s.
So tier 2 and the original model that you wanted would be Byron, Chastain, Keselowski, Truex, Reddick, Ty Gibbs, Blaney.
And they're all basically the next odds. Like, if you like Blaney's hot hand, 12-1. Ty Gibbs is 20-1, but he's never won a Cup race. Give me the other model because there's a name down here that I think we need to talk about. And at 50-1.
So then you go Byron, Reddick, Truex, Keselowski, and probably the one you're looking at is Bubba Wallace.
So when we look at like Bristol Dover concrete style racetracks, Bubba doesn't really move into a tier 2. But when we look at this tire combination, he does just tier up a little bit. So if you think that combination, you think Toyota's been really good this year, right? I mean, they've been good damn near everywhere. I don't know where they're not good, except for maybe the super speedways. So, and you take Bubba, 50-1 to win, 16-1 for a top 3. I really like the 220 top 10. I think that's a realistic, place for Bubba compared to his teammate Reddick at minus 300. I mean, I'm going to be the first to say it. I thought Reddick was going to go over there and smoke Bubba pretty consistently. I was wrong. Like last year, Bubba kind of kept up with Reddick on the finishes majority of the year. This year, he might have fallen off the 45 a little bit, but not minus 300 to plus 220. That's a huge swing.
Huge.
Yeah, and Bubba's up 6 spots on the tire model versus the track model.
Now we could have buried all this, but as a listener, we're showing you our cards. We're not trying to lie. We're like, man, I don't know what to tell you. Like tracks or like tired. Interesting 2311 conversation this week, though. We have a third entry. What is it under? The 50? Did I read that right?
Yeah, 50.
I wonder why.
Time.
Why the 50?
That's a good question.
I think it's something with Mobile One.
Oh, is that what you think?
I think there's some promotional sponsor. I don't know if the 50th year. I don't know.
That's not their normal third number.
Well, what did they run Kobayashi
Mobile
with?
One celebrates 50th anniversary.
Oh, there you go. So you got Corey Heim under 2311 entry as well. So just keep that in mind when you start talking 2311 to win the race, or you talk about all those things. You have Corey Heim making his Cup Series debut.
Nope. Wrong.
No, wrong. What do you mean wrong?
You're wrong. You're wrong.
He filled in for Erik Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. That didn't count, though. He was driving Legacy.
Steve, what do you make of Corey Heim's odds compared to the SHR guys? Is that just he's in a Toyota and things are on the up and SHR kind of in flux with them going away?
I think he is blue sky is what we call it in the biz. I think he runs good everywhere else, and people think he has a ton of upside. So it wouldn't shock me if he goes and runs 15th, but he's not going to run better than that.
Yeah, that plus 270 is crazy.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I'm glad you agree with me, Professor. You're not wrong.
What is Kyle Busch doing in Tier 3?
So We had a conversation about this. We were going to get rid of him, right? I was going to manually get rid of him. But he just... I don't know. That's where he's going to run.
I got a crazy conversation for you.
Yeah.
If you look at 6 race streaks, the last 6 races for Kyle Busch are statistically the worst 6 in a row in his career.
Yeah.
If you look at the last 3 or 4 times that has happened, the next 6 are a huge rebound. So, all I'm saying is...
different team. Different organization.
I mean, I know that. I'm just saying. If you believe... Andy Petrie left, resigned instantly. There's some shakeup up there at RCR.
Is that odd to a move like that mid-season?
Not when they run as bad as they run. Is that fair?
It's fair.
I don't know what the deal is. There was no real comment other than he resigned instantly. So I don't know. Effective immediately. So I don't know what happened.
And the guy Austin Dillon fired is replacing him. So, do I think they're going to get better? I don't know.
No, there are certain times that you just got to let it sit out there.
I'm just putting it out there. I didn't say yes or no. I'm just putting it out there. Someone's got to ask the question. Yeah.
2-1 for Kyle Busch to run the top 10. You can't ignore that, can you? How many top 10s has he had this year?
He's had 5. It's like statistically his worst year ever. Like in almost every category. And we drove deep. Like laps running the top 5, laps running the top 10, average running position.
Tampa Timms belief in him. We've looked for everything.
I really haven't backed him much this year because I don't really think he's shown anything. Even when they do run top 10, it's like out of nowhere. And then it's like, all right back out. It's like 50-1's crazy for Kyle Busch, but they're running like a 50-1 type team.
Fact.
They're not running well.
I actually think 50 short.
Now he was fourth at Dover. Does that help? Concrete? Dover?
Oh, listen, I think Kyle's going to run in the top 10 this week.
Here's the thing: if Kyle qualifies well, he'll race well.
Yeah, I think Kyle runs in the top 10. How about this? They ran okay at St. Louis. They had an issue. Then they were okay at Iowa, and they broke whatever they broke. A transaxle is what I hear.
What? I didn't know that ifs and buts pay, though.
Yeah, but here's the difference. I can at least draw a roadmap for Kyle Busch to get in the top 10. There's some of these cars that, man, I could pay the toll and they're not going to get there. That's all I'm saying is I guess here's what I'm saying. I think that the equipment's not fast enough. This is not a Kyle Busch problem. I'll say it. And he'll tell you that he's not comfortable in this new car and they're going to make the car drive better. And I'm not saying Kyle Busch isn't a part of the struggle, but there ain't no way Kyle Busch can't wheel something in the top 10. If it'll drive in the top 10, he'll get it there. I believe it. I'm not ready to throw the towel in on him yet.
So if it's not Kyle Busch and somebody that isn't as great of a driver as him, where would this car finish?
Well, there's a teammate. Just look where it runs. No, I'm not. Look, I'm not trying to be rude. Here's the truth. Austin Dillon wouldn't tell you he's Kyle Busch, nor has he ever said he's Kyle Busch. Those words have never come out of his mouth, right? The man's won the Daytona 500. He's won some big races. He's won the Coke 600. He's had a very good career. But he's never contended for a championship at the Cup level. He's never claimed he was that level of a driver. So we compare him, and the media might compare him, but he didn't do that himself. And I think that's a fair. So back to the Kyle Busch conversation. If Austin Dillon was running, 10 spots in front of Kyle Busch, I'd be like, man, that's a Kyle Busch issue. But Austin Dillon, as much as Tampa wants to pick on him, and I think it's mostly just, if that car will do it, he'll drive it. At one point, I looked out the window, and they were battling each other for the free pass. And I'm like, what are we doing here? This is not good.
I think was he 32nd in points right now for Austin Dillon? I bag on him every week. That's really low. That's kind of crazy to think he's that low. I also think on a week where it's kind of hard to find some some value in some top 10s of the heavy hitters or the guys you want up there, at Kyle Busch at plus 210, that's pretty good value. You got to take a shot on some guys this week if you want to bet top 10s, and I think Kyle might be worth that.
So let's talk that, because I actually think that's where this week has some interest for me. Bowman plus 160, Kyle 210, Bubba 220, Suarez 270, Heim 270, Barry 270, Gregson 400 basically, Cindric 400, Briscoe 400.
Can I give you a long shot top 10?
Sure.
This is the one driver the model in Vegas are different on, Erik Jones. No? Can't get there?
He was so bad at Dover. Where'd they run at Dover, Professor?
He was so bad he wasn't even in the race.
Oh, so that's the one he was out. That's the Heim entry.
Yeah.
Where'd the 42 run at Dover? Maybe that's the one I'm thinking.
He was 20th.
So my question then is, Russ,
I mean, 11-1 is a long. Erik Jones 11. He's a race winner.
You have him 18th on your model. Vegas has him 27th. What do you see, or what's the model see?
So I would say it sees about averaging there the last. Like if you look at him, let me see here. 1, 2, 3.
Well, if he's run inside the top 20, then 11-1 for a top 10 is a great bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been top 20 in 7 of the last 10 races.
He'll probably need a wreck to get there.
But you're talking 11-1 on your money. That's better than you can get for, I don't know, the top 10 guys to win.
Mm-hmm.
He was 8th there last year. His worst finish there is 19th.
Boom! There you go. Write it down, Tampa Timms.
Yeah,
you got to get on that.
I'm not saying
he's on my short list.
But I don't know. That's right where he needs to be.
Well, how about front row? Let's not just leave these two on the dust. We have McDowell, who was running good till he wasn't, and then Todd Gilliland.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Gilliland, super impressive.
Todd Gilliland, I'm telling you, that kid, he just stays off the radar and does a really nice job.
Is it just me, or has the floor of the NASCAR teams really gone up?
Yes,
this
totally
past year.
Agree. I think that don't talk about it enough. Every time we want to talk about the business of NASCAR, it's this fight between the team owners and all that. Put all that aside. I don't care. The business model is working to make them all better. The 36 teams that show up every week. Like, man, we were 25 laps in at Iowa 2 weeks ago, and they were all still on the backstretch. You know, I'm like the field hasn't spread out. Like, they're all right there. I mean, look at this week. I mean, look at the top 10 this week. If you'd have had those guys as a top 10, Tampa would have been calling in from his jet.
Yeah. Can I give you guys one that you might hate me for?
Say it.
Ryan Preece, 27-1 for a top 10. He's won two truck races here.
Do you not get USA? And you don't have it? You don't have the station? You ain't been watching?
Listen, I know it's crazy, but he's got a 16th place average finish there. That's kind of in that range where something can happen. He can get there. He's won 2 truck races. Usually he's got like a 28th place average finish at tracks.
It's 27-1. I mean, that's a monster number.
Yeah. And he needs to do something, or he's,
how many top 10s has Ryan Preece had this year, Professor?
1. He was 11th last week, though, in the rain. He liked the rain.
SHR was trending up last week in the rain.
They were.
Yeah, and I don't even like him on these tracks for a top 10. It's great odds, but there's a reason why those odds are like that.
I'm going to tell you, I like Noah Gragson at plus 390.
Why?
I feel like he has found a little bit of, comfort there. I think that the Chase Briscoe news is announced, so we know who's going in the 19. I think that the Noah news is on the horizon to go somewhere. I just think, I like SHR. I like Gregson, Briscoe, both at like the 4-1.
Don't you think, though, the pressure of an announcement coming up, he's going to want to have a good race so that when that announcement happens, if it's next week or whenever, that he's got some good results, you think that pressure could be a little too much?
I don't think Noah feels the pressure. I think he's pretty fun-loving, slinging it.
And so Noah finished 9th the last time we ran this tire, and then he was 6th at Dover.
He's been pretty bad recently, though.
Man, you can't say shit. You just gave us Ryan Preece.
Where else did they run this tire, Stevie? What'd you say? Kansas?
Vegas,
So he's
Texas,
top 10 at
Kansas.
Vegas. He was 18th at Texas, and then he was 9th at Kansas. 6th at Dover. Last concrete track.
You hear all that?
I wrote it down.
Question for you. With this race, in the past it's been like the evening, correct, or am I wrong?
Was like
And
5-6 o'clock start.
and so now it's moved up. Does that change anything?
For sure.
It's gonna be hot.
Hot. Man, it's supposed to be a bazillion degrees on Saturday. How about Stenhouse? We kind of skipped over Stenhouse. Back-to-back top 10s for Stenhouse, the old JTG machine.
Russ, we skipped over this. I owe you a 6-pack, I believe.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
He did not get anywhere near his average. What was it? 23.5 was the number.
Let's just jump there. These are my favorite bets. Let's just get here. Let's quit messing around with these 10s and wins and bullshit. Finishing position makes my heart go pitter patter. Corey LaJoie. This is a great number because facts are that he's going to be faster than 27 and a half. Mm-hmm. The question is, will that baby be rolling or not at the finish?
A Spire car will wreck him.
How about the Spire trifecta?
I go under.
I go under, too.
I have to say under 27 and a half for Corey LaJoie. Austin Dillon.
Over.
Last time I said this, McDowell called me out. Austin Dillon, if you're listening, I hope you run under, and I hope you call us out, but I cannot get in the under canoe. I have grabbed a paddle. I'm with Tampa, and we are cruising down the river with the over.
That's what it is. If he runs better than 23rd, congratulations. But, like, there's a stat right here next to it. Would have won 13 times this year. Yeah, I'll take it.
And how many races have there been this year?
18.
It's
But
pretty
he
good payday.
runs. This is a good track for him. I'd say this is one of his better tracks.
Wait a minute. The over would have hit 13 out of 18 times.
Yes.
So I'm the roulette player. When they're hitting reds, I just keep betting red till it flips. I don't believe it. So it's the over. I'm sorry. Over. Rubber stamp it. Call the IRS.
Last time we had a good track for him was Richmond. He was a lap down for the green flag started. So, I mean, I'm sorry.
Now, here's the next one's tougher. Bubba Wallace. I think this is an avoid because I think he's going to run under, but it is going to be a Tampa Timms sweat on the last restart. I think that's a great line for Bubba. I would avoid it.
I agree it's a void, but if you were like, you have to pick, I would go over just because something just seems off with that 23 team. I don't know what it is.
I think if I had to coin flip it, I would take the over as well. I tell you what I would actually do. This is you can laugh at me, but I would take the over and top 10.
Yeah, I was just about to
And
say
all I'm
it.
giving up is 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. And a minus win 15 plus a plus 220, that is basically like a plus 165 on your money. So if you put $100, if you put 115 on it, you would either, if he somehow gets into the top 10, your 115 would pay, call it 250-ish, and you'd lose 115, so you'd be plus 135. And if he was over, you would make money. Like, you're only blocking out 4 numbers. I like trying to hit the middle, man. I would bet the over and and Bubba top 10.
This is like, I feel like this is a craps table math you just did there.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Buy the 10. Don't lay the odds. Just buy the 10. Buy the 4.
He's only
10.
finished there twice this year, too.
I'm telling you, I like Bubba Wallace over and Bubba Wallace top 10.
I love it. This next one is very interesting. Chastain.
The bet is over, and it's minus 140, and you don't take it. I would have preferred they would have made the number 8.5 and made it minus 115, Tampa. Like, I would have, I'm not, the number's over, and I'm not paying 140. Ain't happening.
I kind of think he's going under.
Well, at plus 110, you need to be on.
Yeah. And I like it better. His top 5 number is minus 120, so I'll buy, I'm getting 2 more spots. I'll take it.
Old H. Burton, 29.5. Surely we want to take the under.
Yeah, that's low.
I mean, we're talking that's 30th. That's only 6 cars on the track.
Yeah. His number last week was like 28, and he finished, 19th, 14th, something like that? So
smoked it.
14th.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'm riding the hot hand. I'm saying Harrison under.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about some matchups. Chastain and Truex. Avoid.
Let's just skip right to it. Josh Berry minus 200 versus Briscoe plus 145. And I will also say, before we even get to it, this is why you shop your books, folks. I found the same matchup. Briscoe was like plus 100.
I think this is a little bit of an overreaction to Berry's short track performance last couple weeks.
Hometown guy. Henderson, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Professor, I read the notes.
Went to high school with who?
Taylor
Swift.
Ooh.
There you go.
Man, why am I not feeling it this week? I feel like I want to be feeling it, but I'm not. I tell you, here's what I like. I like the longer shot top 10s. I love the finishing positions. Man, I don't know what else I'm supposed to like.
I'll tell you what, most of my card is probably going to take some shots at some top 10s, and I'll probably have all these finishing positions. That's probably
I like the Byron Truex top 10 parlay at even money. We kind of ignored Keselowski. Let's talk a little Keselowski action.
Yeah, because the last time we had him for like top 40, he didn't do shit. Not that I had that bet or anything.
Jeez.
I'm going to tell you right now.
So
3 vodka Trav coming out hot.
Best finish at Nashville's 11th. Kind of struggled here the last 3 weeks.
Well, why don't we bet against him why don't we take Logano over him in the matchup?
Because Logano struggled too.
Yeah, but Logano's going to get his together. They're coming up on fire.
Well, Busch over Reddick, plus 130.
I don't hate it. And here's why I don't hate it. Because Buscher doesn't really pop up in the predictor a lot, but, man, he went all of a sudden he'll just be great.
Yeah, top 5 last week.
Here's a matchup I have for you. It's not on the books, but it's more important. It's for the title of the Denny Hamlin Actions Detrimental Bracket Challenge Championship. Chase Elliott versus Tyler Reddick.
Chase.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe we don't have truck odds. I was looking for Clint Boyer's numbers.
So, right, you can get that. They do. There is one book has the matchup of Chase versus Reddick. Chase is minus 125 versus Reddick.
Yeah, it's Chase. You got to take Chase.
But would you pay the minus 125 though?
Yep. So I got an interesting thing to think about here. This is going to be a controversial statement. But Byron's $950 to win, and he's plus $450 for top Chevy.
So that's what I was going to ask Timms, is he likes Chase. Timms, would you think about Chase at plus 350?
Oof. I don't know. It's if I'm betting him, I'll probably just bet him outright and live with it. Because if he doesn't win, I do think a Chevy's going to win. I like Hendrick, and I like Chevy.
So Trackhouse, who's the other Chevy that's going to win?
Probably Trackhouse.
So would you bet? I know you have Hendrick highlighted. Would you think about sprinkling a little on Trackhouse at plus 800?
Yeah.
Or would you just go?
But I mean, yes, because it's what Chastain's plus 750. They're plus 800. That's
Yeah,
why
so
I play that.
Yeah.
But because I don't think Suarez is gonna win, but that's the only reason why. Chastain and Chase, I feel like are like, and Denny are like the top 3 guys on concrete. I feel like right now.
Denny's won the last 3 on concrete.
34 minutes, guys. 34 minutes. Hey, guys, 34 minutes. Denny's won the last 3 on concrete.
Hey, dude, I have him as the top of the predictor. I thought that was good enough. You didn't like that?
What do we make of Denny?
Black eye last week. Man, they were not good in the rain.
Is that a helpless feeling, Steve? If you're a crew chief and you're telling your driver what another driver's doing and you don't know how and the driver doesn't know how and there's nothing you can really do?
Yeah, I think it's helpless. And, look, I think Denny Hamlin can drive. So I think the real question is maybe, his setup just couldn't – the rain tires don't have any stagger. They're a very different setup. Maybe Denny's setup just doesn't, convert over very well, or maybe Denny has to change the way he's going to drive it. Now, the one thing I will say is, Denny's not one to just lay down, right? He'll be studying whatever that data is and talking to Bell to try to figure out what it was because he was definitely not good.
How much of it is also Bell's driving style in the rain, his background, that he can drive it a little differently than what Denny can just do?
I think that's some of it, and I'm going to tell you some of it is like Bell was excited to go race in the rain. And I do think, I know that shouldn't be a part of it, but I do think that's some of it, right? Like he was fired up, like let's go race in the rain.
That's got to be hard for, especially, older drivers. You're just like rain delay and like, all right, now I got to get up and get going again. Like just mentally being ready for it. I'm not saying Denny wasn't mentally, but some drivers
I
look
totally
at it
agree. Listen, I think what happened is Christopher Bell was sitting 9th with probably the winning car. So he didn't care if we were on rain tires, slick tires, had to run in reverse. All he wanted to do was a chance to get back to the lead because him and Truex had the best 2 cars. Now, Truex, unfortunately had a very slow pit stop, and that eliminated him from competition.
And Denny was 3rd before the rain, too. So
right, so he was kind of like, let's just pay the bills, and I'll go home with 3rd.
Denny's had a rough 3 weeks, like 38th, 24th, 24th.
That tells me this is the bounce back. Got to have you a little Hamlin on the card this week. When's the last time he's had 4 finishes in a row outside the top 20? How about top 10? When's the last time he had 4 finishes in a row without a top 10?
We need an update from Chop. Is he going hard on Denny this weekend?
This is Chop's birthday Saturday. He'll be in Nashville.
Wait, Chop on Broadway.
I just got Chop some sweet tickets, so he'll be out there on Sunday.
Chop on Broadway would be a sight to see.
Well, you better go at 5 p.m. if you want to see him.
Yeah, he goes to bed early. He had 5 in a row early in 22.
Okay, wait. He had to go back to early 22 to have 5 races in a row without a top 10.
That was the last time he had 4.
He won the last 3 concrete races. I'm telling you, circle it. He might not win it, but he's going to be monster fast. He's like top 3 good this week. So I would take – this would be a Hamlin matchup sweep type weekend. Take him in all his matchups.
So Hamlin minus 140 versus Chase.
I would take it. Pay the juice. Win a bet.
Okay, that's the only one that we have right now.
You're going to grow, though. By Sunday, there'll be a bunch. It's a full weekend of racing. Let's talk Xfinity for a minute.
Stacked field.
8 double-duty drivers.
Let's hear him. Ty Gibbs, John Hunter Nemechek.
Tyler Reddick. Ross Chastain.
There's some weird ones in there. Hold on.
Noah
Chastain, Gregson, Jones.
So it's Allmendinger, the local Chad Fincham, Nemechek, Gregson, Herps, Chastain, Gibbs, and Reddick.
Let's start with the big names that are Gregson. What is he in?
He's in the 30. That car ran top 10 at Charlotte last time he was out. Gregson's been really good lately in the Xfinity Series.
Plus 550 for a top 5. That would be a monster run for the 30.
He's been top 10 in the last 11 Xfinity starts.
What's Chastain in?
Chastain, I believe he's in that 92.
Yep. That's going to be a little bit of a battle.
Yeah.
What's Reddick in?
Reddick's in the 26. The
SHR. Well, I'm sorry. Sam Hunt Racing. I won't use SHR.
Yeah. But they've run really well lately with Corey Heim, so I don't think that.
Man, Reddick 12-1 in that Sam Hunt Racing car is an interesting.
And then you have Nemechek and Gibbs in the the two dominant Gibbs cars.
Yeah, you know what? Cancel everything I said, Tam, but just bet Gibbs and Nemechek. One of them are going to win the race.
They're either going to win or wreck each other trying to win.
Hold on. Did you say bet Nemechek?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I'm sorry, but those Gibbs Xfinity cars, come on, man.
Yeah.
Didn't Nemechek win Vegas?
Yes.
This iron trap up here. It isn't just for good looks, Tampa. There's something rattling around in here.
Some weird stuff up there.
Steve, Nemechek minus 115 versus Allgaier.
I would just take Nemechek to win because if he beats Allgaier, they're going to win the race.
How tough is this for the Xfinity drivers when they see a stacked field like this and you're one of those guys that need a win?
Well, that's the problem with that's the problem like Brendan Jones or the 9 car. He's stunk. He's sunk. He's behind on points. He has to find his way in on points because, I'm not saying he can't beat this crowd, but holy Jamosafrats, man, the thing is stacked with Sunday guys.
What about Carson Kvapil?
Love the kid. Loved what I saw last week. But I just think there's too many Cup guys in the field, and I can't bet top 10.
Timms, you had him at top 5, right?
Top 5. I think I got him at 450. Yeah. Has he finished outside the top 5 yet?
Yeah, once.
He had that one, but I think he was up there until the end, right?
Is this his first mile and a half? Wow.
He technically ran Darlington. This one's the same size as Darlington. Okay. But he about won Dover.
Yeah. Plus 350, I'll take the shot because this has been cashing. But
I will tell you, if you could find an even money top 10, that's a lock. I would take that one for sure.
Okay, so he's driving the JRM car. He's up against Sammy Smith, another JRM driver, minus 110 Kvapil matchup versus Sammy Smith.
I'm taking Kvapil.
Yeah, I'd take Kvapil.
I wish we had truck odds out just to see what our Clint Boyer is going to do this weekend.
Oh, for sure. I wish I could bet it because I would take a picture of the slip, send it to Boyer, and tell him to not screw me.
Because it's a win-win for you, right? If you could bet it,
if he pays me, I'll let him brag because I made money, and when he doesn't, I'll hang it over his head for the rest of the year. But I can't wager it.
So what's his expectations, though? Seriously.
He dang well, but he's got to run on the top 10 for sure. He would be disappointed. Okay, that's a real question. Hold on. I'm trying to give it. Let's say, I think if he runs all the laps, runs at points inside the top 5, and finishes inside the top 10, that's a fun night.
You know what's going to happen, right? He's going to get caught up in some dumb wreck by some dumb driver on lap 32.
Well, listen, only thing I'll say is, when Dale Jr. pops in the old 88 at Richmond, he leads. Or Bristol. Now he runs a little more often, but...
what car is Clinton again?
The Spire truck.
Yeah, he's in a good
he's in a good truck.
The only problem I will say is I actually think the truck field, maybe not this year, but most years, I think the top 10 of the truck field's pretty tough.
I'd agree with that.
So I'm going to tell you, though, guys, I get a little sad this time of year because NBA's over, NHL's over. I don't bet a lot of baseball. If there ever is a cool time for me in wagering, June and July.
Can I interest you in a little thing called no-run first inning bets?
You have my interest.
It's the best thing for baseball. But just bet on will the team score in the first inning.
I like that because they only got to watch one inning.
What? What do you mean watch?
If we bet every game no run first inning, let's just do that. Every game all year.
I don't know lately I've been trying to actually do a little research and find good pitchers because you can also just take one half of the inning. So, if you have an ace on the mound, you take the other team. Now it's minus 300, minus 350, but you parlay that with a couple, you can get it to plus money.
I just pay them juice, man. Win a bet.
I am playing the Rocket Mortgage. I am.
Well, let's have it. I'm going to tail your blindly tail your Rocket Mortgage. So let's have it.
There won't be a blind on one of them because one of them's your boy.
I'm heavy on Taylor Pendrith this week. I got him.
The Canadian A?
Yeah, I like him. I love him this week. I got him top 10 and
Did you know
win.
who he was before I introduced you on the 7th hole at Wells Fargo?
Zero idea. But I saw that tee shot or that approach shot, and I was like, that is a guy I have to look out for. He's been doing pretty well too.
Great guy.
So
yeah.
Tim's has him top 10 and win. You can also get him top Canadian at plus money.
Ooh, I love that.
Plus 105.
Russ.
We've got Russ's attention.
Hey, can we start researching the Olympics now? Because I can't wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
if we're going to be doing a lot of Olympic betting, just FYI, people.
I won't
I
bet
also
on
like-
anything that's scored or voted or judged. It's going to have to be
Correct.
a real race or a real total. I don't want the Russian judge screwing me on my bet. Ain't happening.
What else you got, Tim's?
Best name in golf, Maverick McNeely, top 20. Putting wizard at a course that I've been told very important to putt on. Putt well, I guess.
I'm just blind tail. I'm ready.
I do like Keith Mitchell this week too, but I don't know how to play him yet. That's another guy.
Scotty's not in the field, right?
No, Tom Kim's the favorite at 12-1. I do think
I
he'll
felt
win.
bad for Tom Kim.
Yeah, I think he'll win this week. I do, but I don't know if I'll play 12-1.
I don't think so. See, I think he's out of gas.
You think so?
Man, that's hard, man.
It is.
What do you mean you don't know if you'll play it at 12-1? Tim's, you've literally played it at 12-1.
Did I really?
Yes.
I think I meant to play just Pendrith, and I had him in my slip. All right, so I'm on Tom Kim at 12-1. Oh boy.
Before we go, Tim's, what is your NASCAR bet of the week that you have right now? The one that you're playing. You know is going to be on your card.
Man,
I got one that has to be on your card.
All right, go. Give me something.
I think you can't fade Todd Gilliland. I think you got to ride the top 10 hot hand of Todd Gilliland at 11-1. 4-1, I wouldn't say it. 6-1, I wouldn't say it. But 11-1 is just like you got to ride the hot hand of Todd Gilliland.
I'll
It's
go
all
with
going
that.
right for that guy. Strategy's being excellent. He's doing a great job behind the wheel. Even the rain couldn't shuck him out of the way.
I'll go with that. I'll go with Todd Gilliland, bet of the week, top 10, 11-1.
I mean, it's either that or Austin Dillon over, just out of principle.
That was the second one, but I didn't want. I didn't want to put it the first
Now, if
week.
you could parlay those together,
Whew.
can you parlay them together, Trav?
No. And here's the thing with the Todd Gilliland, though, is can you cash out top 10s?
No, not yet. Not that I've seen.
Damn.
Just wins.
I was
And
hoping
only
he might-
FanDuel.
Yeah, that's the other thing is if you're wanting to cash out for a win bet, FanDuel's the place. There's some books that aren't offering them.
I won 3 winners on Sunday: Truex, Bowman, and Bell.
Don't sleep on Bowman. Win's
Again,
coming.
for-
I say it on every broadcast, and Russell just shakes his head.
Russell, what do you write on the whiteboard when he says that? Do you
I
write
don't even take the time to write it down. I just get in his ear and say,
I thought I do a nice job when I say, there's some that don't agree with me, but
Russ, do you have your dinner already picked out? You know what you're going to order out in Phoenix?
"Oh, yeah, but so
I
he
already know what it is. Hold on. Stop.
Go on.
It's City Hall, Mastro's City Hall. It's a seafood tower. He's going to get a Caesar salad on top of that, and then he's going to get he should get the bone-in filet, but he won't because he goes with marble, so it'll probably be a tomahawk or the monster ribeye. How am I doing?
Keep going."
There's going to be at least 2 starches because he's not a big greens guy, so one's going to be the scalloped potatoes. If we get mac and cheese, he'll try that too, but he's not going for anything green, and then you get the butter cake. Write it down, guys. Stamp it. That's value meal number 1 at Mastro City Hall.
It's true. Nailed it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rocket Mortgage Classic. Trucks, Clint Boyer, our man Clint Boyer, Friday night.
If you bet on Clint Boyer and it doesn't cash, send it in, tag us, tag him, so we can kind of give him a little.
Oh,
is that you think that's fair?
Sure. Please. I need all the Dirty Modo faithful to do me a favor. I don't care if it's a penny. Put a ticket on Clint Boyer, screenshot it, and tweet it to Clint Boyer. Fill up his timeline. And basically say, this is what you need to say, Dirty Modo believes in Clint Boyer, and so don't I. And just send it to Clint. That's what I want. Fill up his timeline.
Yes.
He reads them all, too. I promise you he reads them.
That's what I'm saying. He reads them all. He just fill them up. Fill him up. Wish him luck. I love it. God, what a great weekend. Nashville, probably trucks, Xfinity Cup. We got Rocket Mortgage on golf. And sadly, NBA's done. NHL's done. Apparently, Trav says we're betting every game in the world for no runs in the first inning, so I'll probably go down that.
I didn't say every, but
I know, but you said do it, which means I'm going to bet every one.
3 to 5 every day. Also, there's one app.
I don't have a problem, guys. 3 to 5. Drink much? No, 3 to 5 every day. I love it, guys. Well, Tampa Timms, he is between Todd Gilliland, top 10, and Austin Dillon over 23.5. He can't really tell me which one, but he has a little twinkle in his eye on both. So good luck. Get your bets in, and may all your bets pay off.